podcasts on WildGamesProductions.com and D20Radio.com.
They came from the game table, dice bags in hand.
We have one brain that we share between us.
To talk about role-playing for all across the land.
And you'll like it.
The original and basic, then one they scoured.
Kinda grabs you by the boo-boo, don't it?
To bring AD&D to the second power.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Welcome to THACO's Hammer, the best damn AD&D 2nd edition podcast ever.
Oh, shush. Hi, folks. THACO's Hammer number. Give it to me again.
53.
Thank you. 53. We're at number 53. And I'm DM Glenn, of course, and I'm here with DM Corey.
What's going on, everybody out there?
Hello, Corey. Glad to see you again.
Not bad.
And DM Brian.
What you got in that picnic basket there, boo-boo? You started it.
Brian's not awake yet. And, of course, DM Full-On Gamer over in the corner there.
Greetings, Gamer Nation! Yes, I'm here from the beginning of the show this time.
Yes, we have to put him in the corner because he's so big and he fills up so much. Anyway.
Now, wait a minute. Family show.
His voice carries, let me put it that way.
There you go.
You calling him the elephant in the corner?
Yeah, the
elephant in the corner.
Yeah, the elephant in the corner with camo and a weapon.
Yeah, big-ass Barrett sniper rifle, yeah.
Something like that. Well, before we get real ridiculous, let's go on to hits and crits.
What are you doing tonight? I don't know. What are you doing tonight? The burlesque Louis Paradise. Miserable and lonely and stupid. What am I, crazy or something? I got something good here. What am I hanging around with you guys for?
Hits and crits.
Hits and crits. This week in gaming, Brian.
Oh, let's see. Well, we did our AP podcast last week. Yes, and, you know, I think it came off pretty well. I still have to do the editing and, you know, edit certain parts of it out. And, let's see, aside from that, I've just kind of been taking it easy and trying to keep my blood pressure down, reading our current, topic for DM's Rag, which we'll get into later.
Good. How about you, Full-On? What's up?
Well, we got the AP podcast down. Go ahead and edit out all those fumbles, and we'll see how that works out.
Not a chance in hell will I edit those fumbles out. Oh, wow. I think, yeah, Full-On now holds the official record in my games for most fumbles in a gaming session.
Hey, that wasn't me. I only had a few. There were others out there.
Well, yeah, I agree, but, you know, fumbles by a player, I should say. Because, yeah, there was only one other person who fumbled close to that much. What's up, Dale? And, yeah, he had the big, huge, hulking barbarian with the 1896 strength or whatever, and like an 18 dexterity, but he kept tripping over tree roots and knocking himself out.
That was funny.
Yes, it was.
I didn't fumble at all.
You weren't there.
That's not the point. The point is I didn't fumble at all.
Well, more or less. Yeah, what happened to you, by the way?
Work.
Yeah, he had to work, remember?
Yeah, well, you know, next time, kind of let us in on it, you know? Anyway. Corey was... All right, fine. Corey, what you been doing besides work?
Work?
Okay.
While I've been at work, I work at a desk in an office, so I get computer access, and I've been looking around. I went searching around looking for some forums to read, keep my addiction going, and found a website called Unseen Servant.
Yeah.
The host of the Unseen Servant was on Roll for Initiative a couple weeks ago, but found the site, and it's a play-by-post forum. Signed up, put a game up there.
He most certainly did.
See, that's something I can't do.
What, play-by-post?
Play-by-post, play-by-email, you know,
Really?
I don't like it.
Okay. Fair enough.
I gotta at least hear you on Skype, if not face to face across the table.
Fair enough.
That's like people who play chess by mail. I couldn't do that either if I was a chess nut.
Chess by mail. See, that's kind of funny.
Did you just call yourself a chestnut?
Roasting on an open fire?
It's the season, so getting there anyway.
But yeah, other than that, not been doing much else. What have you been up to, Glenn?
We did the AP podcast. We had a lot of fun. I got to kill stuff.
Okay, I get it. I missed it. I get it.
And I was in Thorky's game last night where we went down and killed a purple worm in basic. First 1E.
I was going to say in basic?
In 1E.
Oh, wow.
You never know with these guys.
Yeah, no kidding.
Did you survive?
Surprise, there's beholders in basic now. Oh, God.
Did you survive?
We did survive.
Nice.
No one got swallowed?
No, yeah. We had a new player, so we have a new character, a gnome. And, and we had a good time. We really did. I mean, so we we just threw it. It's like everything but the kitchen sink at it. I fired some crossbow bolts. We feared it. We fireballed it. We did everything but sneak up on it and backstab it. But finally
backstabbing a purple worm. I'd love to see how that happens.
Yeah, it got 3/4 of its hit points, and it
has a face. It has a head. It's doable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a back.
Sure it does. Have you not dissected a worm before? There's a spine in there. There's a heart and a brain.
Anyway, 3/4 of the hit points gone. It finally failed its morale roll, but just couldn't get away from us fast enough to take that final shot.
By that time, your blood was up and it was going to die regardless.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's it. You're dead. Sorry, pal.
Hey, that's a fairly good and fairly decent accomplishment to kill a purple worm. Those are difficult monsters.
Oh yeah, and it was also my turn to thank somebody. Thank you, Corey. Send me a pristine copy of the Rules Cyclopedia.
You're welcome.
Aside from somebody writing their name in it, which is easily taken care of, it is like new.
Awesome.
It's no yellowing or anything, so it's going to sit on my shelf, new, untouched, waiting for Frank's signature when I get to North Texas.
Very nice.
Next summer.
And he also sent me a very used copy of The Shady Dragon in with pictures color, which I really like. I mean, the person who did it really did a good job. So, yeah. And at Half Price Books yesterday, I got something I don't know why I haven't lived without. I don't know why. The Monstrous Compendium Mystara Appendix.
Oh, yeah.
It's I went through it, and I go, finally, the creature catalog in 2E.
Yep.
I looked through it, I'm going I'm taking the creature catalog. Yep, that's there. Oh, wow, man, they did all of them.
Yep, yes, they did.
All the candy.
Yep.
Even the Gray Philosopher. I was so to see that in there.
Yeah, that's a dangerous monster for sure.
The only quibble I would have is the were swine.
Yeah, the devil swine.
It's a devil swine. Don't.
Yeah, Glenn.
Come on.
That's a sore subject in 2E. You know that.
That's a sore subject in basic. It's a devil swine.
I know. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
And there's the Rakasta. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've been doing. How about some emails?
Okay, we have one from Joshua Merritt, GM Hack.
Hi, GM Hack.
Okay, he says, I've been thinking about something for my home game and I wanted to ask your opinions. There are a number of creatures with type F poison, instant kill on failed save versus poison. I think this is a little fast as it doesn't give anyone a real chance to react even though there are a number of magical means to do so. The alternative I've been toying with is rolling a secret D4 and having the death occur in that many rounds on either the player's initiative or the end of the round. This way there's still some urgency, but the characters have a chance to react somehow. What do you guys think?
Well, thank you for the email.
Mm-hmm.
On one side, you say, well, that's a good compromise to give at least the characters time to react other than roll for roll the die. On the other side, there's people who say, hey, that's the whole purpose of save or die.
Mm-hmm.
Save or die.
Exactly.
That sounds like a show title. We should use that.
Wow, that does sound familiar. That sounds like a good idea. I don't know where that comes.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to use that for? A rock band. That's a great name for a rock band. Anyway,
Yeah.
what do you guys think? That's the two arguments right there, as I see it, anyway.
Okay, well, with me, I've been enlightened. I put this as a topic on a show long ago, where to use an alternate system to kind of convey the deadliness of poison without making it instant kill on a failed save. But there are just some poisons out there that are just so strong that if you take a dose, you're toast, unless you have an antidote, like immediately. I think I would go the other way and just say, look, that's just how it is. You should, go to your local temple, make nice with the priests, and get poison antidote, and just do it that way, and just see, the problem with instant kills, let's see, you have to cast neutralize poison, and then I think it's like neutralize poison, then raise dead, like, immediately, in order for the character to come back without suffering any sort of con loss, I think. And it's a bit of a tough thing, but
even with the con loss.
Yeah, no, they suffer the con loss. It's the normal. That's why you have a party made up of more than 4 characters. So someone can be afforded to die, and then you worry about getting them back after the fact. And you discover, you know what? We're fighting a thing that could kill us in one touch.
It's the only game I know of where death is a privilege.
A badge of honor, if you will. Yeah, like you said, Johnny got his gun. Death has a dignity all its own. But
unless you're Liz and get killed by giant centipedes.
Oh, yeah, that's rather ignoble.
Twice.
Oh, poor Liz. That sucks. Oh man, talk about a bad time for a bad D20 roll. But
how do you fall on this, Corey?
Well, I know a lot of people don't want reality in their fantasy, and I hear that peanut butter chocolate quote used too many times, but there's a reason why we don't all live in Australia. Because that land has things in it that will kill you.
Uh-huh.
God doesn't go, well, I think that Blackadder shouldn't have that much poison. It's going to hurt somebody. No. There are things out there in the world that will kill you. If the game itself made sure that everybody had a fair chance to survive, there'd be no fear of death of your character. So, in my opinion, no. I might give them burrows. Yeah, exactly. I feel that I think the D4 is good if you want to keep your players alive. That's fine. But here's my problem with it. A lot of characters nowadays, and a lot of people who still play this game we all love, see a monster in front of them and go, oh, the DM put that there, it won't kill me, it's going to be a challenge, but we should be able to take it. No, there's things in this world that if I turn around and see something, I'm running. Your players still have the ability to run away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So if that thing has a poison that will kill your characters immediately, save or die, it's their choice whether or not they want to charge it like a moron. It's my opinion.
Point.
Yeah,
also that you alter your tactics for when you're fighting something that has that nasty poison stinger that's going to kill you.
Yeah, or put your sword down and grab a bow,
Yeah, take it out at a distance, exactly.
Yep. No, my opinion is no. Leave the poison the way it is.
I'm sort of falling in that camp because, one, that's the whole point of save or die, and two, any world that has a chance of you being resurrected, it's not as a big a deal as people make it out to be.
I could argue against that, but okay.
I mean, yes, you have. You have a certain percentage chance of it going wrong, or not getting to the priest fast enough, or losing a con point and all this other stuff. But the point is, you can come back. You can to come back. So if it's save or die, it's save or die. I would make an exception on certain creatures. The Cabliotopus has always bothered me, the fact that he looks at you, you die.
If you meet his gaze.
If you meet his gaze. But I mean, I can even take a Medusa turning somebody to stone, because you can turn somebody back. But the point is, he looks at you, you dies, come on.
Well, the problem with the resurrection thing is that the players know that they're, oh yeah, dude, we can just totally go to town and get resurrected. Let's do this. We get a save point in the last town. We're totally cool. You know, that to me right there defeats the purpose of the fear factor of, I don't know what's in that deep, dank, dark hole. Is it full-on gamer in his underwear ready to attack me with a poison knife? Or what's, I don't know what's in that dungeon. Let's go find out, but I'm not sure.
That's the thing. With full-on gamer, you never know where
exactly.
he is in his underwear with that knife.
But, you take your average third-level player, he's not going to have enough money just for random, oh, dang, I got bit by that thing again. All right, well, quick, give me a res, guys. How much money it costs money to get those?
Exactly.
That's why you become indentured servants to the temple, the patron, the whoever that sent you down to that dank, dark hole where I'm lurking with the knife. No, I didn't mention the underwear.
The idea of you lurking somewhere with a knife is a very scary prospect. I have a vague idea of the combat training you've undergone, Fawn. You'd be akin right now to a 4th level fighter. I don't want to tangle with you.
I still think, like I said, it's not as big a deal because you can be resurrected. It's just really hard to do.
Yeah, it's expensive, or it's going to cost you time.
But the point is, it's there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so I don't think Saber Die should be. I don't think you should pull your punches on Saber Die. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I can. Yeah, I agree.
Now, being a player, I would be mad if somebody, I'm playing and the DM says roll your save. Boom. Okay, you're dead.
Yeah, but that's been the games ever since the mid '70s, Glenn. That's just
that does happen. Whether sometimes, okay, when you're dealing with creatures that inflict poison attacks, it's still kind of on the DM's call whether it's you see this thing coming over the hill, it's approaching you slowly,
bites you.
You decided you're going to have a fight with it, and Saber Die and you die. Versus, okay, you're lurking down this alley. You've walked into a prepared ambush. Here's their surprise. Here's their ambush attack. Here's their surprise attack. Here's their, hey, they want initiative attack. Oh, you tried to withdraw. They get their attack of opportunity attack. And in one of those 7, you save or die. That's a little bit more dickish, but again, it happens.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Just don't do it every damn round.
It's not the save or die. It's the attitude behind it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, if the DM is just grinning and just smiling and rubbing his hands together in glee, that's when I'm going to start lunging over the table and trying to break his neck.
Why would you want to break my neck?
It's one thing that you kill us, you don't have to be so damn happy about it. How about that?
Those guys.
Fair enough.
Anyway, just occasionally keep your DM happy with a sacrifice, and he's not going to be into that mode of, okay, how many party members can I kill tonight because I got a game happening in 2 hours.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, thanks for the email.
Oh, he has a PS, actually.
Yes, go ahead.
He says, Full On talked about adding a Hackmaster hit point kicker to the game. I found that half the kicker of 10 hit points allows for the same heroism without making the PCs too invincible. I also use the family creation tables from Hackmaster with all PCs in my game. I've seen that. That's it's interesting, amusing, and a little scary at the same time.
Is that akin to trying to create a character in Traveler where you can die in character creation?
Oh, did you have to mention that? That just completely just gets my goat.
That got me.
Yeah.
Hold on, would you ever join the army when you thought there was like a 75% chance you wouldn't live through basic training?
Yes.
All right, I rest my case. Never mind.
I think that's his point.
Yeah.
You accept the risks. That's the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Also remember that I joined the Army by joining the Airborne with my enlistment, so I knew day 37, I'd be jumping out of airplanes.
Yep.
Okay, I understand that. I understand that, but you don't hear a whole lot about deaths in training. At least the civilians don't, anyway.
Well, yeah, because no one would want to join the Army if it was a known fact that there's a very good chance you could die in training.
Yeah, it's like, if I'm going to die, I want to die on a foreign land with a foreign enemy, not by my own people.
Trust me, when my brother was in the Marine Corps, one of the last things they do in basic training is stick you in a gas chamber.
Yeah, I know, and then take off the mask.
Yeah, exactly. And you're supposed
Not just
to.
Marines.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
That's all of us.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, that's the last thing you do. And if you get through that, then you become a soldier. You become a Marine. You become a sailor. That's one of those things. It's one of those things where, yeah, things can go horribly wrong. I mean, I can't remember which freaking movie it was, but there was one where they're doing a live fire exercise where they're shooting over the recruits' heads, and you're supposed to keep your head down. One guy panicked, stood up, and had his head blown off. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's tough, but that's the risk you take. They tell you about it.
Yeah, but do you want to do that in Traveler?
In a game, yeah, that's where I would be really, really, really annoyed. Seriously annoyed. But yeah, in order to get the advanced skills in a game like Traveler, yeah, there has to be some risk. Do I agree with it? No, but that's how it is for that game.
Okay, enough said. Well, thank you, DM Hack.
Yep.
For your email. Got any more?
Yeah, I got one more.
All right, one more.
Just archive that one. And this is from our man over at OSR Gaming, DM Dwayne.
Hey, Dwayne.
Okay, he said, "Hey guys, just finished listening to show 51. As usual, great job. I have a couple of suggestions if you're going to do a Halloween issue, and we probably are. Exactly. I suggest Mask of the Red Death or Requiem the Grim Harvest. Requiem. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that second one, but go on.
Me either. The former has Victorian horror in a low magic world with a monster gothic horror loose upon the earth. The latter has a city of the undead, a land ruled by death, and rules for running undead PCs. While may not be great for long-term campaign use for some, it can breathe some unlife. I see what you did there. Into a group for a one-shot game. And now my question for you is thus. I've run my campaigns with about mid-level magic that is somewhere between Conan and Forgotten Realms. I guess that would be Greyhawk. Yeah, that would be Greyhawk. I don't have magic shops in town, so no go buying a Vorpal Ballista or Hydrogen Holy Avenger plus 10. I think he exaggerates. But I like having PCs be
interesting.
What's that?
I said, those sound interesting. No, carry on.
Yeah. Don't. No, never mind. But I would like to have the PCs be able to purchase healing potions and the like when they need it. How do you handle magic your campaign? So do you allow them to have a Walmart or wizardry or more low key? That's the first question.
First off, good suggestions. I think Mask of the Red Death will be hoot.
All right, I'm down with that
for Halloween. It's my. I'm not too crazy about Ravenloft, but this variant I am because it reeks of Universal and Hammer horror film stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say this is right up your alley.
Right up my alley. Classic horror. I love it. I mean, yeah, Ravenloft was too, but it was more gothic literary.
Horror. Yeah.
But this
with a power boost.
Yeah, this is more like the movies.
Yeah.
And
going to the picture show.
Yeah. As far as magic level goes, well, you should put some magic shops in there, but they have to be like at the edge of town. Right outside of town where nothing bad's going to happen in town.
And not well known.
Yeah, you put it right next to the tanners because nobody wants them in town either because of the smell.
Exactly.
I like that urine smell. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't need to have magic shops in town. I go with Aurora's Whole Realms catalog outlet stores, which are like pawn shops. They might have something, they might not. They could also have your foldable kayak.
That would be funny. You had a pawn shop in one of your towns that is also an Aurora's catalog outlet.
Yeah, how about that?
That would be neat. And they, you know, they have a certain percentage of chance of like taking in refunds and reselling them or something or pawning them.
Yeah, exactly.
And if they might not have it in stock now, they could at least put it on order, and it'll come through the next concession stand after they have a party of adventurers deliver it for them. Hence a stock of replacement characters. People save or die. See what I did there?
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah, a magic level.
Magic shops for me, when I do them, it's not very often. Usually it's something that you just don't know about until your characters reach a certain level, when you get a little bit of notoriety, or even a lot in some cases.
And money.
Yeah, and a lot of money. I mean,
yeah, there's always been one in this little village. It's down this place called Diagon Alley, but you won't actually find it until you know how.
Exactly. Until someone tells you the secret. When it comes to, like, you know, huge marketplaces and things like that, like in my Mystara game, Karamako, in the capital city of Karamako, Specularum, there is basically a bazaar that runs more or less 24 hours a day. And you might, if you know who to look for and you know what to tell that person when you find them, you might be able to find, you know, maybe a, you know, plus one thing here, or maybe on the rare occasion a plus two thing there. But, you know, no, I don't have, like, you know, magical outlets, so to speak.
Can I have that +5 broadsword behind you? No, not the blue one. Yeah, the gold one. Yeah, that one. Does that come with, like, a filigreed scabbard, or? Yeah, no.
You mean you don't have the Shaman's Club or the Warlock Mart? 24/7 with a food court.
24/7. Yeah, and if they want to make a little money on the side, they can put some slots in too.
Exactly. Yeah, little games of chance. Yeah.
Yeah, that platinum crossbow slaying. Oh, that's last year's model. Yeah, all right. Let me know when you get another one in.
Okay, you walk to my village, you find a place. Come to my town, you find a place that calls itself the Magic Shop. You're probably going to be seeing the snake oil salesman more than you are the friggin' Elminster. Okay.
I agree. No, I agree totally.
There's them too, but usually those are traveling ones in my world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as for me, I have magic shops, but they're not like you have racks of hanging magic armor. These are guys that also, usually I mix between like a herbalist and a healer shop along with magic shop. You're talking about small, mundane magical items that, you know.
Isn't there a guy in Waterdeep who has like a knick-knack magical shop that has stuff?
Several.
Well, he has a stuffed beholder head in his shop that he sticks like a guy with a wand of magic missiles in there to keep shoplifters from. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, that's the first time I saw
wand of magic missiles. Yeah.
Yeah, he made an impression of saying is like you can insult him all day long. He'll just smile and charge you higher prices.
Yep.
Yeah. Because for me, if you put too many magical items, you get magic item stores in too many towns, you stop having a reason to go adventuring.
I agree.
You know, I would rather have, and this is the way I like to do as far as magic stores go, I would rather have an alchemist or potion maker in the store who has just a small side of magic items.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a very small selection, maybe a ring of protection, you know, just something. It's just something minor.
It's not his main source of income. He does potions and powders and filters, but I've got a few of these things. I took them in. I didn't have any money, so they trade them for on consignment or something.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes more sense to me, actually.
Yeah, but you're also going to have the random, this cloak is said to have magical protective properties. It'll stop the magic flames of a dragon. Meanwhile, all it does is it has a slight illusion of, like, alteration magic on it or something that, you know. Here's a guy walking by going, I will sell this to you for a mere 300 gold, and you're like, wow, that's a good deal for a +1 magic cloak. Meanwhile, it's nothing. You're going to see that more often than not, especially in big cities where people are going to know, dumb Burks are going to be coming in and trying to grab, magic items to protect themselves. Well, let me go ahead and shave off some of that farmer's gold out of their pocket.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's the kind of level of magic I like. I mean, I'll put shops in there, but not specifically magic shops. Some shops with some magic in it. Any pawn shop they go to probably find 1 or 2 magical items in there behind the counter, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these things where you just have to use a little bit of logic, because even a +1 sword, your garden variety +1 longsword, which we know there are thousands of them out there in the wild just waiting for you to find them.
Right.
You got to remember they're worth a lot of money, number one. Number two, people are dying to have these things. And, it's one of these things where it's like, if you've got a place that just has a 20-foot long rack along a wall, and they're just laden with +1 long swords, it's like, they cheapen the very concept of magic items, at least in my opinion.
Well, you do still have to have a little bit of variety, because what if I don't want the long sword? What if I want the saber? I want the rapier. I want the claymore. Where's the short sword, man?
Give
my machete some love, dude.
Full on. That is when I quote one of my favorite movies, Caddyshack. You'll get nothing and like it.
Where's my glaive guzome?
I want a cheeseburger. You'll get nothing and like it.
Yum. May I have another, sir? I also toyed with the idea of not exactly a Walmart of spells, but this one guy who would travel the town or have a shop and sell his versions of just mundane spells, if such a thing is possible, like, say, 1st to 3rd level spells. Mm-hmm. But you can always tell it's one of his. He does something to, like, watermark the spells or copyright them or something like that.
Alters the effect slightly or something like that.
Yeah, it's always a certain color or a certain thing. Or
my magic missiles are pink.
Right. Oh, you bought that from Phil's shop, didn't you?
Yep.
Yes, but they work just as well as the other ones. But I'm saying it's like only 1st to 3rd level spells. I always wanted to do something like that.
That sounds like a good idea. Good concept.
Can you just imagine some magic user who's bored, he's all high level, and he's creating magic items in town to sell to players, and there they go with a wand of magic missiles, and every time they fire their magic missile, the sparkling effects afterwards spell out, bought at Phil's Magic Emporium, Middle Street.
No, say copyright Phil's Magic Emporium.
Exactly.
Just every attack does an advertisement in the air for 5 seconds for the guy's shop.
Eat it, Joe's.
The impact burn mark is a tattoo.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Copyright Phil. Yeah. One guy said, "Oh yeah, his fireball spell. The split second before the fireball happens, you see the guy's face."
You see you see his face in the actual fireball before.
Yes.
Wow.
And the guy's sitting there all scorched and scored, says, "You got that at Phil's, didn't you?"
Makes a good commercial, doesn't it?
Yeah, you get a wand of chaos or something like that, some effect that causes chaos, and it's like, our prices are insane. Why did I say that? I don't know. I think I'm going to go walk around in a circle.
Well, Crazy Eddie, Wild Mage Emporium, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yep. He does have one small little question. To close out his email. He says, lastly, do you consider a potion to be magic enough to glow in and detect magic spells cast upon it, or do you rule that alchemical magic doesn't react that way?
Yeah, sure. It's a fun effect.
It's a magical potion. Therefore, when you cast detect magic on it, it glows.
Yes,
yeah.
Magic is magic is magic is magic. Yep. If it's alchemy and it's just chemistry, no, but it could still be beneficial. But if it's magic, it's magic.
Yeah, if it's a potion, if it's a potion, most potions use a spell to activate the magic when they're creating the potion. That means that spell effect is in the liquid, so yeah, it would glow, in my opinion.
Yeah, THACO's Hammer Court rules in favor of glowing potions. Next case.
Yeah. Next case.
Thank you, Dwayne. And if all of you out there want to send us an email, you can send it to thacoshammer@gmail.com or the phone number 405-806-0555. And if you folks want to send us an email, send us to thacoshammer@gmail.com or our phone number 405-806-0555. And we now can move on to people skills.
The face is familiar.
It's mine.
And so it is.
Oh, yes, of course. It stands out a mile, doesn't it? He's so common.
A little lady comes in here and starts throwing her butt around. What is that supposed to do? All
right, forget I said anything.
Maybe I will.
Well, that's pretty good.
Don't tell me you weren't looking at it.
Well, that's not half bad.
She's giving it right back to you.
People skills.
People skills at last.
Finally.
Yeah, the Archer Kit from the Complete Book of Elves on page 84.
Mm-hmm.
Now, archers are pretty much, elves, archers, they go together.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like the quintessential elven archer. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, with with all the trick shots and, all things required of it. This class, this kit, I should say, it works very well. I've used it several times. As it says in the role, the archer easily fits in as a border guard for elven towns. She's also excellent for making her own way as an adventurer. Her skill with the bow is highly prized anywhere.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine this book being kept on the set of Lord of the Rings as director reference material when they were putting Legolas together.
Yes.
Look, just do this.
Yeah, Legolas, read this book. That's you. Go.
Yeah.
Go, Bloom.
Yep.
There's all your character development you need right there.
Right. It's just one. This is a good kit because, not only do you have the trick shots, but also then you get get little combat options, shall we say? And yeah,
you have some options for combat and tactics.
Yeah, believe it or not. Basically, it becomes an arrow platform.
A weapons platform of mass destruction via arrows.
Oh, yeah. Once you get up around, let's see, if you use weapon mastery and you get up around 13th level, that's exactly what it is.
No.
Let's see. It says, for the benefits, the archer is an expert with her style of bow. In combat, the archer may elect to do one of two things. She may either fire faster than most are able to, or she may use a bonus on trick shots.
I would take the fire faster.
Uh-huh. And even then, there are two ways to do it. If you elect to fire faster, you can take an extra shot every 2 rounds. So if you just have the normal 2 shots per round, it becomes 5-2, and that means she can still move around and take shots. But if you choose to stand still,
stop arrow time.
Yeah, stop arrow time, exactly. You can increase it goes up to 1 extra arrow per round.
Mm-hmm.
So just starting out getting 3 shots a round is pretty.
Hells yeah!
Yeah, it's pretty heavy advantage.
Yeah.
As long as you don't fire.
So this means you can do the Legolas trick of stabbing an Urukai in the throat and pulling it out and firing somebody.
Well, something, I think that if I was going to put that in the game terms, that would mean to me Legolas was a high master with a longbow. Because, some people would say grandmaster, but Grandmaster would basically put you up to the next die, which would be like, a D8 for regular arrows and like a D10 for sheath arrows, which is deadly.
And don't forget that +1 damage for extra sharpened arrows, as long as you're maintaining your equipment.
Correct. Yeah, I was getting to that.
Yeah, that's gross.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't call it gross, but...
How much damage you do with that longsword? Watch this.
Once you get to High Master with the bow, because you get that nice little -3 initiative bonus, which would take a normal longbow, drop it from an 8 weapon speed down to a 5. And never mind if you get like a magical bow at some point in your adventuring career. Yeah.
At a certain point, you go beyond Legolas into like Hawkeye from the Avengers
or the Green Arrow,
which is an actual interesting series that just came on recently, and doesn't look like they've messed it up badly at all yet. Yes.
It's
Arrow.
That's Arrow.
Green Arrow. Yeah, that looks really good.
Yeah, I thought that was him because they dance, but just like with most DC shows, they dance around the name. Like for Superman, instead of just saying, Superman, the early years, they called it Smallville.
Well, just don't confuse Arrow with Archer. You're going to have two entirely different experiences.
Yeah. Is this animated or live action?
Live action.
It's on the CW.
Very well done, Polon. Very well done.
You get to that point where it's like, that one scene in the Avengers where Hawkeye's talking to Cap, I think, and he's not even looking and taking a guy out.
Yes. Yes. One of my NPCs in my Mystara campaign is a 7th level archer who is a master with the longbow. You'll probably run into her at some point, but not until you guys get some levels, but you'll run into her at some point. But I was redoing her character sheet recently, and I'm just like, oh my god, if I really wanted to deck her out with some stuff, she would be an unholy terror on the combat field.
Could you take blind fighting with arrows with the ranged weapons?
Absolutely.
Sure, why not?
Absolutely.
The idea is what you can hear and what you can smell and what you can feel vibrating on the floor, or
I fire into the darkness. Sorry.
Into the melee.
I just like that idea. You're talking to somebody, you just lean over your shoulder, not even look at him, and go bang and hit the orc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically just go give the orc a third eye because you shot him in the head. Yeah.
Exactly.
But another thing is that, as we all know, with called shots and trick shots, it's like a -4, sometimes a -8 if you're going for the head. With the archer, you get a bonus to your trick shots. It's like a +1 for every 4 levels. And, so once you get up around, I would say probably about 12th level, you're only taking like a -1 for a trick shot or a called shot. So you could do like stapling shots and things like that, and it would be no different than just a regular bow shot if you're just trying to kill somebody.
Or using stone biter arrows and firing them into a cliff face and letting someone use them as rungs of a ladder.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Yeah. You can go ahead. I'm just going to pull out some.
I know a lot of players who are thinking right now.
Frog crotching into the orc crotches.
Yeah, frog crotches.
I know a lot of players who are thinking right now, screw the Blade Singer. I want one of these.
Easier to maintain for sure. They don't break the game.
Yeah, true.
Because if you use weapon mastery, the bow is always going to be, a speed factor of 7 or 8, as we discussed last episode.
Right.
And that's the main drawback to being able to move around and shoot things. Go ahead.
Also, the drawback is you get a -1 penalty for using a long, short sword or a dagger, because those are the only weapons you can use other than a bow.
Correct, and that's the thing.
And all that does is really offset the +1 bonus you get for being an elf, using a long sword, a short sword, or a longbow.
That gets negated, actually. You have a permanent -1 when you fight in melee combat because all you know is the bow. You will use your weapons. We only saw Legolas use his swords once.
In fact, it says right here it includes losing the natural elven +1 to hit with long or short sword.
Exactly.
So, and you always got to.
Elven. What if you go with the other elf breed that have the extra bonus in the first place?
Still gets negated. That's what I would do.
All bonuses, or just that first?
The normal +1 bonus. So if you were a gray elf as opposed to a high elf, okay, you'd still be at a +. You'd be a better archer than I would say. You'd be a better archer than a Sylvan elf or a elf.
So if I had my bow, but I had a +2 long sword, that means it goes down to a +1 long sword in my hands.
No,
effectively. You still have the -1, but. It's still a +2 longsword in determining what you can hit with it.
Okay, so to hit, but to damage, it's a +1.
No.
Why?
1, you're only adjusting the hit bonus for the hindrances for an archer. 2, it has to do with your skill. It does nothing to the weapon. So if you hit with it, it's still a +2 sword. It does +2 hit, +2 damage. Your math for getting your hit might be a -1, but that's on you. It does not change the sword.
But it boils down to a +1 to hit.
Kinda, sorta.
At the end of the day.
It's that the -1 is still there. It gets figured in when you're determining your,
Usually for A and L, be a high dex character or whatever else you got going with you, you're probably at enough bonuses right now that it's a matter of getting less bonus, not actually suffering a negative net to whatever it is you roll.
Right.
No, I get it. It's just, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No,
go ahead.
Right. No, I was just saying some of the other hindrances here. You're like a paladin with his armor and weapons with your bow.
You're constantly carrying after your bow. I mean,
and you got to have the best.
Yeah. And most archers, they'll have their bows are custom made with their own hands more often than not. So,
and it says here you start out with 5d4 times 10 wealth, but your bow and things are going to cost 150% of the normal cost because you have to have the best.
Correct.
And I would have nothing wrong as a GM with applying that to pretty much anything you do where you're going to be spending your money on your archery equipment, whether it's I just want to buy a compound strength bow. Okay, it's going to be that price at 150%. For the one that you want. Or if you were contracting, I want to have a +4 bow of tripling. Okay, well that +4 bow of tripling price at 150%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which leads to interesting and funny things like down in the dungeon, some guy is using a weapon that a dead elf he got off a dead elf. The other says, I know that weapon. That's Murray's bow.
Where'd you get that?
Where'd you get that? Why? Is it an elven artifact? No, he paid like 300 gold for it.
Sweet. Now I know what I can sell it for. Thanks, man.
Exactly. then you've got some conflict, because then that leads to the role-playing opportunity, where now you've got to talk an elf down from trying to basically take it from you because it belonged to his friend. It's like, your friend is dead. It belongs to me now. If you want it, I'll sell it to you. How much is it worth to you? Of course, that'll probably...
looks like I got 40 gold here.
40 gold.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to hold on to this until we gather up enough treasure through this dungeon, and you'll get your cut. But when you make 350 gold, then we'll discuss it. Or I can give it to you now, and you can just give me your cut of whatever we find in here today.
That's a deal.
Yep.
That's it. Can you imagine an elf trying to haggle at a pawn shop?
Yeah, I could see it. See it. I mean, not very often, but, I could see it.
Elven.
Yeah.
They don't deal with those kind of people. They're pain in the patukas.
Yep. You never give an elf a loan. Ever give an elf a loan. Somewhere I read, I can't remember what book it was I read in, but essentially, elves will use their age. They'll make a promissory note saying, "Before I die, you will receive this money back." But I'm a human and I'm already 45. Well, I just wrote this and you just signed it, so yeah.
That's when you send him into the Tomb of Horrors.
That's when you put down on that thing within the next 5 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the elf is going to outlive you. But yeah.
All right, Elven Archer.
Yeah,
Elven Archer. All right, Elven Archer, tell us all about it at THACOShammer@gmail.com, and let's move on to Magic Fingers.
Eeny, meeny, chili beanie, the spirits are about to speak.
Well, it just so happens that your friend here is only mostly dead.
Sounds like a lot of supernatural baloney to me.
Supernatural, perhaps. Baloney, perhaps not.
Magic Fingers.
Magic Fingers, we're going to talk about cantrips and their lesser-known cousins, the Orison.
Correct.
Now, in 2nd edition, I believe cantrip is a spell.
Yeah.
And we got into this a little bit in a previous show when we had an email about somebody asking about cantrips and orisons.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian made us sit on our thumbs until we got to this show. So, let loose, guys. What do you think?
Okay, well...
You don't like the bathroom analogy?
I could have done without the mental image, yeah. But,
sorry.
No, you're not. As I said last time, the cantrip was introduced in a Dragon article, and it was put into official rules in Unearthed Arcana in 1985. I forgot.
Spell.
What's that? Yeah.
First level spell.
Yeah, it was a 0-level spell, to use a 3rd edition term. But basically what it was is that, as even says here that an aspiring magic user or illusionist could use one cantrip per day as either a neophyte, an initiate, or an apprentice. Of course, those are negative XP values that I just don't mess with. When you start at first level, you're able to cast 3 cantrips. That was the 1st edition ruling. And they decided, to my minor dismay, that they decided to change it over to being a first level spell in 2nd edition.
Right.
And I would have no problem retrofitting the old rules to this, because this actually makes more sense to me.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, there are at least, and I'm just talking for magic users now, there are at least 20-something cantrips. I think it's like 27, 28, something like that.
Yeah, grab a copy of Unearthed Arcana, look at the list.
Yeah, which is what I'm doing right now.
Those were awesome spells. I mean, 2D illusion.
Yeah, exactly.
That was useful. We used that in combat.
Yes. Yeah, most of these some of these the person affecting ones you could use in combat. It wasn't anything major, but when you're up against it and you're looking for every edge possible, some personal affecting spells like giggle or yawn or cough.
Flatulence. Hey, those role-playing circumstances where you're standing before the Baron or the King or whatever, and you have Schmucky, the NPC, who's pissed you off, who's up there making a spiel, you just go...
Yeah, exactly. Or belch, for that matter.
Yep. I mean, something like a minor illusion that doesn't even, you look at it and go, yeah, it's an illusion, is great in combat because you cast it just within their peripheral vision, so they just enough time for you to stick that sword in them.
Exactly. And yeah, that was the better thing about it too. Illusionists had their own cantrips. They had colored lights and rainbow and haze and things like that. You had 2 delusions right here.
We used to take cantrip color, cantrip glow, and have a silence cast on a pebble. That way the party could sneak through the dungeon and be unmolested. Hey man, orc around the corner says don't mess with that dead party of adventurers wandering by. Here comes a pack of ghosts. Not touching it.
Exactly. I mean,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it kind of changed the game a little bit, but but yeah, I'd probably just go ahead and just do the retrofitting, and with a minor amount of work you can do it. Okay.
Well, I'm going to restate what I said at that show. The problem with the first level cantrip spell is it's a first level cantrip spell.
Agreed.
I still think it should be outside of the regular spell lists.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And treated separately. Because, like I said, if I'm a first, second, or third level character and I only have a limited number of magic spells as a magic user, cantrip ain't going to be one of them. If I only get to do it once or twice.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That is a waste of a quarter of a page on page 171 of your player's handbook. It is a waste of a quarter of a page.
Yeah. So listen to this, folks. We're actually being somewhat negative about something in 2E.
Wow.
It does happen, believe me.
Except for Corey. I haven't seen Corey yet.
Yeah, where is Corey?
Corey?
Who? I'm right here.
Oh, there you
I've
are.
just been listening to you guys go off and on about the cantrips. I have my own way when I do my cantrips in my world. But I'm not totally disagreeing that it's not supposed to be a first level spell.
Yeah,
you should.
Well, how do you?
There's 0 level spells. I still use and have expanded the list from the Unearthed Arcanum, and I've essentially allow my mages who study to have 2 cantrips for each first level spell that they have in their list that they have memorized.
That's cool.
So literally, in my opinion, the way I see it, you're an older mage and you have a little neophyte acolyte coming up to you wanting to be your little apprentice. He's going to teach you. He's going to teach you two cantrips, easily done, easily learned, and it's going to be the basis of another spell. For example, sneeze or cough, maybe alteration magic. Well, that's going to give you the basis to learn your first level spell.
Right. This is basic training. This is basic training.
Exactly. So what I do is my wizards are still have available 0 level spells, but they get them 2 per first level spell that they have. So if they have 4,
that was a pretty good cantrip, Corey. You sound like a crow.
Thanks, man. No, that's my familiar over here giving me opinions. Sorry.
Okay.
I mean, think of it this way. This has been the way it's always been in books about mages learning their craft. If you read any of the myth books by Piers Anthony, what is it that Skeeve can't do? Light the friggin' candle.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
One of my favorite cantrip looks about lighting stuff like that is the old 80s movie Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, yes.
The wizard's lighting the candles as he's walking through talking to the young boy.
They put the pouch on there and said, "Let me see it," and he just moves his hand and the pouch comes over to him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another thing is a book that one of my favorite books is called With a Single Spell by Lawrence Evans, and basically the main character kills a dragon with a Firefinger cantrip.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just one of those things.
Filled his cave with dynamite and he lit the fuse. No.
Yeah. Basically, he ignited the caustic chemicals that cause a dragon to breathe fire before the dragon could actually breathe it. And
was close.
The dragon went boom.
Yeah.
We did that to somebody because the GM was judging that the chlorine gas of a green dragon was flammable. So the green dragon breathed on us, and then the mage went, Firefinger! Boom! Suck like that, Greenie!
It's like the mage is carrying around an aerosol can of hairspray and a Firefinger spell.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to the Orisons. This is actually done a little bit better, in the fact that with clerics, they also have brief little prayers and invocations and things like that. With the Orisons, they're
where they came from.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. These were actually in a Dragon magazine also, but they made it into the Pre-Spell Compendium Volume 2. And the page number is 439 and 440. The Orisons are just basically minor prayers, and instead of you can devote a spell to them, a first level spell to these, but the thing is that for each level slot, or excuse me, each level the cleric has, you get 3 plus 1 per level. So if you're like a 5th level cleric and you decide to use to cast Orison or to use Orison, you can use 8 of these things.
And you know what? Mm-hmm. Orisons are a perfect example of why you should have spontaneous clerical casting in your campaign.
Agreed. 100%. Because you're preaching the choir here, Glenn. But yeah.
Yeah, but I have to make the point for everybody out there.
Oh yeah. I mean, they have like little minor benefits, or things like that, like alleviate, like you can just relieve pain or discomfort. Calm can actually negate magical fear, or at least give them the chance to make a save. against it. Courage gives like a +1 bonus to the next attack roll. Guidance, healing, which this is interesting because you don't have to cast major healing spells in order to stabilize somebody who's bleeding out in front of you. So you could use an Orison for healing and heal 1 point of damage and just bring that person to 0, and you can heal him later. Or bind his wounds or whatever. Correct. If you don't even have time to do that, all you do is just, make a little Orison for healing, and then, the person can be healed later.
See, every holy man who's following a god, they get these not by doing anything special, asking, oh God, the orc's going to kill us, or, something like that. They get this just for praying every day. Yeah. Exactly. These are the minor prayers that most acolytes learn before they're fully ordained. Their God has no problem granting this. It's almost like excess energy leaching, just leaking out of the God to its followers. Correct. It's a way to also sort of like the acolyte, establishing that bond with his deity, through these small prayers.
There's some real power here. There's actual ability that was present back in the 1E cantrips that they nerfed like crazy, but it's here for your friggin' clerical spells, and it works. I mean, you've got magic resistance, you've got poison resistance, you've got bonuses to skill checks. Where is that anywhere else?
But the whole thing is that this is how, or if I wasn't going to just retrofit the 1E cantrips for mages, I would take how they did the Orisons and use that. That way it gives it more utility rather than just devoting one first level spell for a minor magic that you shouldn't have to devote to it anyway. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Now, here's a question. Yeah. Cantrips and Orisons, we've all determined that, we do it outside the spell list. Have you ever run it in your game? Yes. Yes, I have. Okay.
I haven't.
You really?
Not the Orisons. Like I told you guys, I forgot about this. Well, either one. This was here. Oh, yeah. Either one. I've done the cantrips.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, those cantrips are fun. And we're pretty much okay with the house rule of these are 0-level spells. It goes outside. Every magic user gets these. Yeah. These are the things you learn before you learn your first level spell. Yeah. There may be the rare magic user who doesn't get them. I mean, if we were in 3.3.5, I'd say like sorcerers wouldn't get them because they pick up magic, or bards for that matter. No, you're correct. Unless they have a really good magic user friend who will teach them to them or something. They don't do that. Yeah, or something like that. But on the whole, okay, you learn this is your basic training. And you know what? People, you're not going to forget them as you go up in level. Some DMs seem to think, oh, well, you didn't take the cantrip, you're going to forget the... Okay, in this system, everybody gets it. No problem. They'll all remember them. Exactly. And it also teaches... And that's one of the other things it teaches mages is that, especially when you are just starting out, your power is very finite. You have to learn how to use the minor magics to achieve what you're trying to do. Creativity. Yep, creativity, exactly. Yeah, that's the backbone of the game right there. Yep. I mean, as much as DMs hate players who do things they don't expect, that's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Right, Corey? That's a good thing. Correct. There we go. I knew you were back there somewhere.
I'm listening.
Okay. And again, the Court of THACO's Hammer rules in favor of the Orison and cantrip. Yes.
I think I might use the Orisons with piety points.
There you go.
However many piety points your cleric has, you can cast that many Orisons per day.
Mm-hmm. That works. It might work, but I'd hold that for the regular spells. I mean, Orisons you can toss off at any time, but when the chips are down, you want them big spells. Yeah. But sometimes you need to conserve your magic, and this is one way of doing it.
Okay, well, okay, I can go with that. I swear to God, I'm going to like the People's Court site and get that judgment for the plaintiff. Yeah, after
yeah. Then you hear.
No, we even did it. We even did a thing like this in favor of the friggin' psionicists.
Oh,
really? You had cantrips?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Interesting. We'll have to talk more about that.
I mean, psionics is nerfed enough. You really want to do that?
Well, let's table that.
I think I'll shut up now. All right. THACOshammer@gmail.com. We're also on osrgaming.org. We're on dragonsfoot.org. We're on d20radio.org. Thank you for one.
Purple Worm.
Yep. Purpleworm.com. Planet AD&D. Yep. Stroll Citadel, Circus Maximus, Nutkin Land. And I think we're expanding.
And Twitter.
Facebook and Twitter. I think we're expanding to one or two other boards if I can get my little grubby hands on places like the Labyrinth Lord Society and RPG site. Anyway, let's go on. Let's go on to Snipe Hunt.
Yes.
If you only had a living brain.
What do you think? Escaped gorilla?
Listen, you're making enough noise to wake up the dead.
I don't have to wake him up. He's up.
It's time for a Snipe Hunt.
Snipe Hunt. Okay, today we're going to talk about mariachi bands.
No.
No?
No, we're not. No, we're not in Mexico. Stop that. Wow.
We are the Three Amigos.
Oh, God.
The Marashi.
Yes, Marashi. Yes.
We'll find them where?
You'll find them in the Monstrous Compendium Annual number 1, and also in the Monstrous Collection, which Glenn has been so kind to, share with us.
Yes, the big ass Monstrous Collection.
Yeah.
On page 1,832.
Yes. Folks, if you haven't seen this thing, it's like the blue whale of monster books.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Everything I could ever want or use is in this book. Almost.
It's all second edition, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yes, indeed.
5? Yeah. So these critters look like they're a cross between like those lupins and a bird.
They look like a cross between a gnoll, a man, and like a bird.
Harpy.
Yeah, and a harpy. Yeah, for sure.
It looks like a dog bird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they're fairly nasty. I mean, let's break it down. I mean, these guys are like winged archers. That's what they do. They fly through the air, and they're very agile, too. They're pretty fast in the air, and they can maneuver pretty well. But the thing is that they can shoot at you with special arrows. They're servitor creatures, so other evil creatures could have these things as aerial scouts or, their own little archers and things like that. I
see them working for like a Nagpa.
Yeah, I could see that. I can see that,
Yeah, the entry says that they're an evil spirit of pestilence that will work for other monsters for the opportunity to spread contagion.
Yep.
Oh wow!
And to create more of their own races, because that's how they propagate, is by getting ahead of ourselves. But yeah.
Yeah. What are we talking about? Like hit dice?
7.
Ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, so these guys are nothing to mess with. I could see a group of 3 of these giving a high-level party all kinds of fits.
Yeah.
With that rate of fire 3.
Yeah,
I might actually use these tonight.
Yeah.
Got any special attacks or anything like that?
Let's see.
Contagion. You talk about contagion.
Yeah. Now, see, the thing, the way to beat a Marashi is somehow to get it on the ground and beat the crap out of it, because they're weak in melee. They only attack with claws, which only does 1 to 2 for both, and their beak, which is beak.
Bite.
Yeah, why does that say beak?
Yeah, I was gonna say
snout.
That's a typo. And their bite was like 1 to 6.
So standard procedure would be web. They fall, you hit them.
Yeah, web, fall to the ground, and you beat the crap out of them. Yes, because if they stay in the air and you don't take them down somehow quickly, they start shooting arrows at you. They have they have 3 different kind of arrows. There's one that's just a regular barbed arrow that does 1 to 8 plus 2 damage for each shot.
Yeah.
And then they have a disease arrow, which does 1 to 6 plus 2, and you have to save versus petrify, or you contract a fatal disease, and you'll die in 1d20 days unless treated by a cure disease spell cast by a cleric of 7th level or higher.
Got herpesifilades.
Yeah, herpesifilades, exactly.
Or a character with healing proficiency. You're not entirely boned.
Yeah, well, you got to make that check at -5. That's pretty boned.
I'll say.
Not only that, anyone who's exposed to an infected character must also save, or they could become infected with it.
Patient 0.
Yeah, so I can imagine these people just floating above a small village and shooting one or two villagers, killing the villagers. And then they're infected. Then the people who come to investigate, they get infected. And then within, I'd say, probably about 60 days, everybody dies.
It says here that they increase their numbers by firing special arrows called THACO arrows.
Correct.
These are different than the normal 1d6 plus 2 points of damage saving throw.
Is this those? Okay, these arrows that look like kind of like a vibrator on the end or something?
No.
Well, you said they prolificate. Okay.
No. Oh, goodness gracious, Glenn. No, basically what these are, these inflict a different kind of disease. Now, you have to make your save, but if
this is ridiculous.
Yeah, if you fail your save, you die, and
in a day.
In a day, yeah, 1 day.
In a day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how you know it's out there.
Yeah.
Instead of the 1d20 days, it's a day.
Yeah, if untreated, bless, cure disease, and dispel evil in combination are required within 6 hours to heal the afflicted victim.
Exactly.
After 6 hours, the course of the disease is irreversible, short of a heal or limited wish. Oh, I love these things already.
Yeah, so, they only have one, but one is usually enough. They only have one of these arrows.
Is this like you die, end of story, or you die and come back as something weirder?
No, this is the thing. If you die from this disease and somebody buries you, you will come back as a Marashi in 1 to 6 days.
So that's how they do it.
Yes, that's how they proliferate.
So he fires the arrow, you die, and he smokes a cigarette. Okay, fine, works for me.
Wow.
The scariest part is with these special arrows. I can just see if anybody here has a dog. You have to clean out a certain gland in the back from time to time on a dog. Yeah. I can just see these freaking winged dog things wiping their arrowheads on their butthole.
Oh, God.
Getting the disease from there and firing it in.
Oh,
sorry.
Corey.
You do? I didn't know that.
Oh, wow. Anyway, but yeah, these things usually are in the outer planes, but they can be summoned to the prime material by wizards who know how to command their service. The problem is that if you command their service, they're going to always be on the lookout to increase their numbers because they're going to try and take vengeance on the person that put him into servitude.
Not only that, but, look, another dimension. Let's take it over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I have a god of disease in my world. These would be... as a matter of fact, I'm going to probably redesign the specialty priest of this deity and include a spell where they can summon one once a year.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so they can just go around and inflict disease in their god's name. I mean, what better thing to do, really? But
the hosts of this segment have no responsibility on your own campaign or sheets.
Oh, did I just give somebody an idea? Did I do that?
Yeah, yourself. You are detriment.
Oh.
Since these things are from the outer planes and they work for other creatures that summon them, I can see Slod who come to the prime.
Friggin' all of the lower plane stuff are things you're going to be having to deal with this. So it's going to be the Batuzu. It's going to be the friggin' Tannery, Demons, Devils. It's going to be the Abishai. It's going to be the friggin' those neutral evil friggin'...
Oh, goodness. I've forgotten the name myself. What are they?
Which ones?
The neutral evil ones. I forget
the ones that are really nasty.
They're called daemons in
Daemons, yes, because especially with that one pestilence daemon who has that disease.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, since they're flying creatures, you can always find them potentially in the company of Pazuzu, Lord of all the lower aerial realms.
Yep.
Who loves to make deals, and will probably have these guys as collection and enforcement agents.
I'm just seeing the Blood War and the Batezu and the Tenari fighting, and you got a general, the Batezu, standing up on he's like, bring in the Air Force. Dozens of these things.
Come in. Yeah, really. Yeah.
We gotta go through this canyon to get the evil wizard. Well, look out, harpies! Oh, it's just harpies. They're shooting arrows at. Yeah, they got weapons. Why do they look like dogs?
Yeah, those aren't harpies. You don't hear singing. All you see are a bunch of arrows coming at you. This is not good for you.
Yeah.
Start making some saving throws, please.
Yeah, or find cover.
Exactly. Want something. Do something.
You got that shield. Use it.
Yeah, I want to know if any of our people out there listening actually use these things, and if the party survived, or did they leave a couple people behind to be Marashi?
Next time we meet to do another show, I want to find out what happened to your game, Corey.
The one in 10 minutes? We'll see.
Yes.
Oh, boy. I feel bad for those people.
2 of them are behind me.
Yeah. Well, anyway. Let's move on to DM's Rag. Yes, DM's Rag.
Yes.
Well, that's quite a story.
I think it would be fun to run a newspaper.
And here it comes, right over the old plate.
The DM's Rag. DM's Rag, we are now going to delve further into Dragon Mountain, like we did a couple shows ago.
Yes, we are.
We are on to book 2.
Correct.
Of a 3-book set, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Now we've finished with all the hijinks and the preliminaries in book 1.
Mm-hmm.
And now we get into the real deadly meat of it. Kobolds.
Yeah, you might say that.
One of you tell us all about it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, basically what ends up happening is once you get the info about Dragon Mountain, however you do it, now you actually find the place and you start to delve into it. And this is where, and I'm biting my lip as I'm saying this, but this is where things get interesting. Because you are going up against several, I won't even say several, I'd say probably a dozen or more clans of kobolds. And they're all tactically sound in what they do because apparently they've been trained.
Right.
And going through this book, it's like at the end, when I was reading it at the end, I'm just like, why did they just call this Kobold Mountain and call it good? Well, I know why, because it wouldn't have sold.
Who knows?
I don't think so. But
they call it Kobolds series.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I mean, you have different clans of kobolds, like I said, and you can try and wade your way through them and kill as many clans as you can to get to where the actual dragon is. But the best thing to do would be to simply try to get certain kobold clans to attack other clans because there's a whole hierarchy.
So, like Night Below, it is time for negotiation.
Well, kinda, sorta. I mean, it would make things easier for you if you did that, but you can certainly, try, do your best to try and just, slog your way through it and kill them all. But, I mean, I'm just having a lot of difficulty, and this is my major problem with the adventure. I'm having a difficulty seeing, at the very least, 10th level characters going through this. And either trying to do negotiating or trying to slog your way through it. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What besides kobolds, what else do we have to deal with?
Oh, let's see. You have you have the leaders, which, they're outfitted almost like adventurers. In the certain areas of it, you also have Rotims, which are like intelligent blind monkeys, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But, you got to deal with them at some point. You got stone snakes you have to deal with.
What, no gorilla bands?
Might as well be.
Yeah.
The thing is that as you go through each clan, so to speak, you run into various monsters that they have trained. Like, there is actually one clan of kobolds that actually have trolls, believe it or not.
Those are the ones that give full on to run.
Yeah, exactly.
Kobolds and trolls, go well
got
together.
Specters, rust monsters, zombies, more rust monsters.
Oy.
They actually have trained rust monsters. You got to deal with a belay at one point.
All right.
Yep, land shark.
You even got a pissed off treant in here.
Yeah, a crazy treant. That's right.
A treant inside the mountain?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, there's an actual garden in there, and
so oh wow.
Yeah, and there's a treant in there that's been witness to a lot of the despoilment that the kobolds have done to the point where it's basically just kind of lost its mind, and if you get too close to it, it'll try to kill you.
Okay, you're dealing with a Gakarak then.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. You got Umber Hulks in here, the Living Steel, which, like I like to say, is the T-1000, because that's what it is. And just like in Terminator 2, that thing is extremely hard to kill.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got Scrags. It's not all negative. You do have, every once in a while, you will run across like holding cells, and they'll have potential allies in them. Just don't rescue any captured kobolds, because they'll betray you as soon as they happen.
They'll betray or bolt.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't want that.
Or betray and bolt.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, there it is. There it is. There's the treant.
What?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, the whole thing about Dragon Mountain is that there's an area that used to be occupied by elves, and that's where the treant was. And anyone, if you come anywhere within 70 feet of that treant, it will try to kill you unless you speak to it in Elvish.
Of course.
It's just really, really. Like I said,
and then he's going to talk with you for a while, and then try to kill you.
Yeah, exactly. Just when you think you've got an ally, nope.
I think it'd be interesting to get him as an ally, though, if you could trick him some way to think that,
Yeah,
your enemies are over here.
I personally, I'd give the party a chance to use that treant to their advantage, but the problem is the way author wrote this. It's like if you talk to him, he'll attack. If you go near him, he'll attack you. He'll talk to you. If you speak to him in Elvish, but he'll try to, he'll still try to kill you after just talking for a while. It's like, it's just a treant that's lost its mind. But and this is just the first level, mind you. You're going against.
Yeah. Well, I figured. You're going against what? No, I was just figuring with the treant, it's like trying to get the Hulk to work with you.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, what else is in there?
Then the names of these various clans of kobolds, some of them are pretty good, some of them are just lame. Not lame, but they're
Strike Force Z!
Exactly. Strike Force Z. I'm like, oh. I'm reading through this, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? And, as you're going along, they're, like I said, a smart party will try to set things up so that the kobolds start attacking each other. Because there are some that hate other clans, there's some that live in fear of other clans, and things like that. But, yeah. But the way the author writes this, or at least the attitude that he writes it with, is just like, you're going to try to kill all these things, and these things are so smart that they're probably going to end up killing you, which I disagree with.
Yeah, it's a killer be killed situation.
Kind of, sort of, and you haven't even gotten to the dragon yet. That's the best part. Or the
I'm not going down there without Full-On's character, no matter what he's playing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
See,
as I found out,
Zed is the unaffiliated Special Forces SWAT team of the Kobolds. Scrags are the riot police Kobold pack of all the outcasts. They don't even get rid of their outcasts; they just make the outcast part of the police.
Yep. Isn't that funny?
That's pretty good thinking, though.
But yeah, I mean, and the fact that these things, then there's the Black Death kobolds, I mean, there are just so many clans of kobolds in here. I mean, I want to say there's probably close to 1,000 kobolds in this. Herd
him into the garden, let him talk to the treant.
Yeah, something like that. You see that tree over there? Go talk to him. Exactly. As soon as they get close, blap.
Yeah.
We'll go have a conversation in the Torturer's Lounge.
Exactly. Exactly. But,
So, Full-On, I probably asked you before, you run this, right?
Nope.
You've never run this. Okay.
You, Brian? Probably don't want me to run this.
No. If you tell me you're running it, I'm going to have something else to do that day.
We'd asked Corey, but Corey had to leave us for a game.
Yes, he did.
So,
but at least he left us for the right reasons.
Yes, he's running a 2E game. Yay!
He's playing in a 2E game. Go ahead.
And at the end of this book, you should be where?
By the time you get through all of this, all the kobolds and everything else, you start in book 3. Actually, I take that back. You still have to get through some kobolds going into book 3. I'm trying to fast forward a little bit to let everybody. Wait a minute. Stop. Reverse that. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh. Ooh. Wow. That's interesting. One of your opponents is like a thief slash psionicist.
Oh man.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you're still. You're still in the middle of it at the end of book 2, going into book 3, and hopefully you can get through this and actually get to the dragon. I mean, at this point, I'm just like, I just would rather just completely redesign this entire adventure.
Well, you just talked to Liz, who went to THACO Manor through the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when they first, that's a legendary story at Save or Die. It's like, when we first ran this, we decided, well, it's probably easier if we go through into the tower first.
No, it's not.
No, and it's like in Dragon Mountain. It's like, Liz, don't go through the back of Dragon Mountain, please.
Yeah,
don't.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anyway.
Oh my God. Okay, never mind. I'm going to save this for when we talk about book 3. Because, there's some stuff in here that it's like, whoa. But, yeah.
Okay, if you guys have got this far through the kobolds and all that kind of stuff, let us know at thacoshammer@gmail.com and all the usual places. Well, that comes to another closed splat book.
Yes,
looking at the back of the cover right now. Let's see. The complete book of THACO's Hammer, TSR, blah, 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 blah.
Would be one hell of a splat book.
Oh, yeah, $15 US. Okay, splat book number, whatever it was. Anyway, it's time to go, folks. I guess we're going to have to vacate the premises. So, Full-On, say goodbye.
Have a good time, Gamer Nation. Stay out of dark corners and pits. I might be there with a knife.
That's right. In his underwear yet. And Brian?
Why do you keep putting me in underwear?
You need to talk to your wife, Glenn. I think it's been a while for you. If this is what you're envisioning.
It's harder for him that way. But by the way,
no, that just means he can hide better.
I thought, aren't you a berserker? No. Oh, Brian, say goodbye.
Until next time, folks. Yeah, just remember, kobolds. Well, no, the less said, the better. See you later.
Let's say no to kobolds. I'll say goodbye to Corey, and this is DM Glenn saying we'll see you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer. Bye-bye.
See you later.
And you got to wade through those kobolds through 2 books?
Yes. Yeah, all the way through book 2 and probably about 2/3 of the way through book 3, yeah.
Lordy mercy. Oh
yeah, yeah. The author, I want to say, has probably a stronger kobold fetch than Liz does.
I don't want to know
think?
A little bit. Just a little bit.
THACO's Hammer theme is provided by the Diablo Swing Orchestra. You'll find them on Jamendo.com. All other additional music for this episode was provided by Kevin MacLeod. You'll find more of his music on Incompetech.com. Be sure to visit our website at thacoshammer.info. If you have any questions or comments, email us at thacoshammer@gmail.com. Remember, that's an O, not a 0. You can also find us on the second edition forums at osrgaming.org and at purpleworm.org. Or give us a call and leave us a voicemail at 405-806-0555. See you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer.